So dear students, as we are going to talk about the global influence of the Russian revolutions and the USSR. So dear students, this is the last topic of the chapters called the Socialism in Europe and the Russian revolutions. So here we are going to understand how the Russian revolutions as well as the USSR was having the global influence. So, my dear children, as we understood that the Russian revolutions was having great impact in all over the world. So, these Russian revolutions as well as the socialism process which given a new phase to many countries in the world. It inspired the country, it encouraged morally to different countries, and as we see and we understand that these Russian revolutions, it is one of the greatest revolutions which was taken in Russia, and it really transformed many of the society to build a communist society, to build a healthy society by implementing the policy of the USSR or the policy of the Bolshevik party. And with these great revolutions, it created lot of transformations in Russia. So in these Russian revolutions, as we see that it inspired many countries to follow the concept of the Russian revolutions as well as the concept of the USSR. So why it inspired many countries? Because here the Russian peoples who try to reform the society, who try to build the society in a different ways by implementing the concept of socialism. So dear students, so these are some of the impact which was having, and those are such as in many different countries the communist parties were formed, like the Communist Party of Great Britain, because these concept of Lenin as well as Stalin, which was spreading all over the nations, is inspired many communist party to look into the society in a different perspective, in a different ways, and they try to reform the society by developing the society by implementing the concept of socialism. So here, when the Russian revolutions was happening globally, we see in many countries that the communist parties was formed, just like the Communist Party of Great Britain. So here, the Bolshevik party who encouraged all the colonial peoples to follow their experiment. So what is the experiment of the Bolshevik party? So the Bolshevik party, they had done different kind of experiment, the socialism experiments, the land redistributions, bank nationalizations, then seizing the power of the ruler and establishing the communist party power in the society. These are some of the concepts the communist parties were having. So here the communist parties, they were against the dictator. They do not like to have the dictatorship, rather than they wanted to establish a different perspective of power, that is called the communist party power. So the communist party, they are having a different kind of powers, and those kind of powers which talks about equality in the society. That means each and every individuals were given equality during the time of this Bolshevik party. That means they changed the society, they transformed the society. Each and every individual was given importance. But during the time of dictatorship, the equality concept was lacking. So here, what the Bolshevik party did, they seized the power of the monarchy and they established a new system called democratic systems. So here, the same concepts they encouraged the colonial peoples to follow in their experiment, because already I told you the experiment of socialism. So they encouraged colonial peoples to follow their experiments to develop the society. And in many non-Russian non-Russian peoples, they participate the conference of the peoples of the East, and there was the formation of International Union of pro-Bolshevik socialist parties. So these are some of the initiatives which we see here. First initiative, the communist parties was found everywhere. Second, the Bolshevik parties, they encouraged the colonial peoples to follow their experiment. And third, the many non-Russian peoples, they participate the conference of the East, and they established the International Union of the Bolshevik social parties. And further, many non-Russian peoples, they were having educations in the USSR communist university, so that they will get equipped and they will follow the concept of communist party and they will implement in their society. That is why many peoples, they were educated in the communist university which was there in Russia. Then as we see that here, the communist parties which was having the ideal role to save the society, form the society, but by 1950 the party they lost their ideals in the society. As we see that these Bolshevik parties, they are very supportive towards the poor peoples. They are giving equality status, giving importance to equality. But by 1950, we see most of the communist party, they lost their ideals. But by the time of the outbreak of the Second World War, we see that these USSR, who had given socialisms as well as the global face and world stature. That means after the World War II, we understand that the socialist party, they were trying to influence many nations by implementing the ideology of Lenin. So in India also we have the Communist Party. So in Indian society, the Communist Party, they follow the concepts of Lenin. The Lenin concepts was given more importance here. So my dear children, as we see, we understand that the Russian revolutions, which was having more influence at the global level. That means many people, they received education, they got training, and they started joining this Communist Party, and they follow the ideology of Stalin. They follow the ideology of Lenin. So this is how these USSR as well as the Russian revolutions was having global influence in all over the nations. Thank you so much for listening.